Travels with Roy Wyss.
Comparing Aussie versus American versus British caravan travel trailers. Look, caravans look, well, broadly similar wherever you travel, but look underneath the surface and the Australian, American and British designs are surprisingly different. Australian caravans are often built like they're preparing for battle. American travel trailers feel more like apartments on wheels, and British caravans focus heavily on lightweight construction, efficient use of space and easy towing. But which country actually builds the best caravan? Well, look, after more than 25 years of designing, manufacturing, selling, servicing caravans in Australia, I'm going to compare the three, not just on appearance, but on construction, weight, layouts, towing, suspension, comfort, and suitability for real-world travel. And the answer may not be as straightforward as you think. Look, I'm Roy Wyss, and welcome to Travels with Roy Wyss. My aim is to help you understand caravans, avoid expensive mistakes, and choose the right vehicle for the way you genuinely intend to travel. If you enjoy honest, experience-based caravan advice, please subscribe to the channel and join our growing international community. And before we begin, I'd like to clear up a language difference. In Australia and Britain, we normally call them caravans. In America, the closest equivalent is generally called a travel trailer. The term RV covers a much broader range of recreational vehicles, which includes motorhomes, fifth wheelers, and travel trailers. So for simplicity, I mostly call them caravans, and we're comparing Australian caravans, American travel trailers, and British touring caravans. And these are general comparisons. Every country produces everything from lightweight budget models to large expensive luxury vehicles. So in the first part, let's talk about why they're so different. I guess the biggest mistake would be to judge all three designs against exactly the same conditions. Caravans develop around the different countries in which they're used. Australia has enormous distances, rough roads, extreme heat, dust and remote camping areas. Many owners want to carry large amounts of water, batteries, solar capacity and recovery equipment. The United States also has enormous distances, but it has a massive network of campgrounds and RV parks. American buyers frequently tow with large pickup trucks and often expect residential style, space and comfort. Now, Britain has narrow roads, smaller tow vehicles, lighter campsite, and much shorter travelling distances. Weight, manoeuvrability and space efficiency are therefore particularly important. So, each company's caravan designs make sense when you understand the environment that created it. Now, in the second part, let's begin with Australian caravans. Now, we're talking construction. Australian manufacturers commonly use several different construction methods. These include traditional timber frames, aluminium composite cladding, and fully bonded composite panels. Many off-road Australian caravans feature strong steel chassis, substantial drawbars, independent suspension, large wheels, protective underbody systems, and considerable ground clearance. That construction can make them extremely capable, but it also makes them extremely heavy. There's sometimes a belief that adding more steel automatically makes the caravan stronger. That isn't necessarily true. Look, good engineering is about placing the correct material in the correct location. A well-engineered, lighter structure can be stronger and more durable than a poorly designed heavy one. Now let's look at American travel trailers. American constructions vary enormously because the market is so large. Many mainstream travel trailers use timber or aluminium framing, laminated walls and relatively lightweight chassis systems. Some American models can use slide outs to dramatically increase the internal living space that creates an interior that can feel enormous compared with an Australian caravan of similar travelling length. However, every slide out introduces additional weight, seals, motors, wiring and structural openings. It also creates more areas that require regular inspection and maintenance. And there are some exceptionally strong American models, particularly those engineered for the four seasons or off-grid use. But many, conventional American travel trailers are designed primarily for the highways and established campgrounds, not thousands of kilometres of Australian corrugated roads. Now, British caravans take a different approach again. So most British touring caravans are designed to remain relatively light. They commonly use bonded wall, roof and floor systems with careful attention paid to reducing unnecessary mass. This allows them to be towed by a much wider range of passenger vehicles. British caravans can appear less rugged underneath than their Australian counterparts, and that doesn't automatically mean they are poorly constructed. They are engineered for different roads, different tow vehicles, and a different style of touring. Take a lightweight British caravan deep into the Australian outback, and it may be outside its intended environment. Look, take a 3.5-tonne Australian off-road caravan down a narrow British country lane. You may quickly wish you had something smaller. Now, in part 3, let's talk about the chassis and the suspension. This is one of the most obvious differences. Australian off-road caravans frequently use galvanised or painted steel chassis, independent trailing arm suspension, coil springs or airbags, twin shock absorbers and heavy-duty off-road tyres. Tandem axles are extremely common, particularly as caravans become longer and heavier. And the advantage of durability, ground clearance and the ability to cope with, well, rougher conditions. The disadvantage includes additional weight, cost and complexity. Now, American travel trailers often use more conventional steel chassis with leaf spring suspension and solid axles. This system is relatively simple, affordable and widely serviceable. Larger American fifth wheelbase and premium off-road trailers can have much more sophisticated suspension, but the basic leaf spring arrangement remains extremely common across the mainstream market. And British touring caravans frequently use lightweight galvanised chassis with rubber torsion style suspension. Single axles are very common on reasonably spacious caravans. Look, this keeps weight down and makes the caravan easier to manoeuvre on smaller sites. It suits sealed roads and normal touring conditions very well. But it isn't intended to intimidate a heavy Australian off-road suspension system. There's no universally supplied superior system. The important question is whether the suspension is appropriate for the caravan's weight and the conditions in which it will actually be used. So in part 4, let's talk about weight and payload, and this is where Australian caravans can run into trouble. A modern Australian off-road caravan may carry large batteries, an inverter, solar panels, several water tanks, a toolbox, spare wheels, outdoor cooking equipment and numerous accessories. And all those features, well, they sound attractive, but they increase the tear weight and may leave the buyer with far less usable payload than expected. A caravan can look capable of carrying half your house while legally having very little carrying capacity remaining. And American travel trailers can also become extremely heavy, particularly when they include several slide outs, large refrigerators, residential furniture and substantial water capacity. However, American buyers often have access to larger pickup trucks, especially designed for heavy towing. And even then, owners need to consider the truck's payload, hitch weight, axle rating and gross combined weight, not just the headline towing capacity. Now, British caravans generally place much greater emphasis on lightweight, so their payload allowances can also be quite modest. So careful packing remains essential, but the lower starting weight allows many British caravans to be towed by vehicles that would never be suitable for a large Australian or American caravan. Look, in all 3 countries, the same rules apply. Never judge a towing combination by towing capacity alone. You must consider the caravan's loaded weight, baller tonne weight, tow vehicle payload, axle limits, combined mass and weight distribution. Now in part 5, I'm going to talk about the interior design and layout. And this is where the American travel trailers often make the biggest impression. Slide outs can create huge lounges, island kitchens, private bedrooms, large bathrooms, bunk rooms and even outdoor entertainment areas. If maximum living space is your priority, American designers are extremely good at delivering it. Some of the larger fifth wheelers feel more like a small luxury apartment than caravans. But the trade-off is its size, weight and complexity. You may also be unable to access certain cupboards, appliances or sleeping areas while the slide-outs are retracted. And Australian caravans generally try to balance living space with water storage, electrical capacity and off-grid equipment. Popular layouts include, well, an island queen bed, central kitchen and dinette, followed by a full-width rear ensuite. Australian interiors have become increasingly luxurious with washing machines, induction cooktops, large compressors and refrigerators and substantial battery systems becoming very common. However, Australian manufacturers sometimes try to fit too many features to a restricted space that the caravan becomes heavy, crowded or unnecessarily complicated. British designers, on the other hand, are exceptionally clever at using limited space. Front lounges frequently convert into beds, kitchens are compact but functional, and storage is carefully incorporated throughout the caravan. Large windows and roof lights can make a relatively small interior feel bright and open. And many British caravans also use cassette-style blinds, fly screens and heating systems extremely efficiently. Look, they may not carry the enormous refrigerators, battery banks or water capacity seen in Australia, but they often demonstrate the intelligent design can be more valuable than simply making the caravan bigger. In part 6, let's talk about climate and insulation. So Australia must contend with extreme heat, strong sunlight, dust, and in some regions, severe cold winter nights. Australian caravans increasingly use composite constructions, large air conditioners, substantial solar systems, and dust reduction equipment. However, not every caravan marketed as suitable for extreme conditions has been properly tested in those environments. America has perhaps the widest variation in climate. A travel trailer might experience desert heat, high humidity, or temperatures well below freezing. Some American four-season models are enclosed and heated underbellies, insulated tanks, double glazed windows, and powerful heating systems. But the words four seasons should always be investigated carefully because there is no guarantee every manufacturer means the same things. Look, Britain climate makes heating, ventilation and condensation controls particularly important. British manufacturers often produce very efficient insulated heating systems and comfortable cold weather interiors. Their caravans are frequently very cosy in cool, damp conditions, although their cooling system and dust protection may not be suitable for an Australian outback summer. Now, part 7, water, power and off-grid travel. Australian caravans are becoming world leaders in off-road capability. It is now possible to find caravans carrying hundreds of litres of water, large lithium battery banks, powerful inverters and more than 1,000 watts of solar. And that can provide genuine independence, but only if the system is properly engineered and the buyer understands the weight and the costs involved. American travel trailers often assume easier access to campground, electricity, water and waste connections. And many have large fresh water, grey and black water tanks, but their electrical systems have traditionally been designed around connection to shore power. That is changing rapidly as the solar and lithium systems, they're becoming more popular. Now, British touring caravans generally use smaller water containers and more modest electrical systems because owners frequently stay in established caravan parks and travel shorter distances. Portable water containers are common and owners may not require the enormous fixed tanks found underneath Australian caravans. Once again, the design reflects how the caravan is expected to be used. Now in part 8, let's talk about bathrooms and toilets. So, American caravans frequently use black water holding tanks connected to a conventional flushing toilet. And this works well in areas where accessible dump stations and full hookup campsites. Australian caravans traditionally use cassette toilets, although composting, separating and waterless toilet systems are becoming more popular. Australian full-width ensuites often contain a separate shower, toilet, vanity and even a washing machine. British caravans use space very efficiently with compact combination bathrooms and cassette toilets being common. The best arrangement depends on where you camp, how long you stay and how comfortable you are handling different waste systems. A large luxury bathroom is wonderful until you realise it's taken space and payload away from something you need more. Now in part 9, which country builds the best caravan? So this is it. So who wins? Look, if I wanted a caravan for long distance travel, corrugated rows and extended off-grid camping, I would lean towards a properly engineered Australian design. If I wanted maximum interior space and residential comfort, particularly for extended stays in well-equipped campgrounds, an American travel trailer or fifth wheeler would be extremely difficult to beat. Lightweight, intelligently packed and easier to tow through narrow roads and smaller campsite, a British touring van would make enormous sense. So the winner isn't a country, the winner is the caravan that has been designed for your vehicle, your roads, your climate and your travelling style. And I believe manufacturers from all three countries could learn from one another. Australian manufacturers could learn more about weight reduction and efficiency packaging from Britain. And British manufacturers could adopt selected Australian ideas around off-grid power, water capacity and dust protection. Australian British manufacturers could study the extraordinary living space created by American designers. And American manufacturers, they could look closely at Australian suspension, ground clearance and remote travel preparation. The worst caravan isn't necessarily the cheapest, the lightest or the least luxurious. It's a caravan that's been purchased for the wrong purpose. So before choosing one, ask yourself, where will I genuinely travel? How long will I stay away? How much equipment must I carry? And what can my vehicle legally and safely tow? And what features will I actually use? Look, answer those questions honestly and you've been for a far closer to finding the right caravan, whether it was designed in Australia, America or Britain. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which company do you think produces the best caravan designs? If you live in America or Britain, tell us what Australian manufacturers could learn from your industry. And if you're Australian, would you consider owning an American travel trailer or lightweight British caravan? Look, please leave your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep the discussion respectful, because all three countries produce excellent caravans and some I would inspect very carefully before buying. Look, if you found this comparison helpful, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to Travels with Roy Wyss and share it with someone currently looking for their next caravan, travel trailer or RV. I'm Roy Wyss, thank you for watching, travel safely, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, buy right, tow safe and travel far.
Roy Wyss.